think we're here. Are we here? Are we really here? I just don't know. Just give me a moment if we are here and I don't realise. Just waiting for it to pop up on my phone. Sometime today. There we go. So, hi again guys and girls, welcome to the stream. Today I was gonna carry on with what we were doing, but I really want to do it in the way I wanted to do it initially, which was to be able to use the ground model as well. So what I'm going to do is clone that level, and we're going to make a separate one. So something you can learn from that. So it's not just a case of copying and pasting, sadly. It's a case of copying and pasting, and then also changing a few things. So we'll do that. So I've copied the mod that's unpacked. Didn't actually have to copy the mod, I could have just copied the level. But we've done it now, so it's a separate mod. So when we package it, it will be its own thing. So we'll call this Trials TT. Let's keep it lowercase. Copy that. And then go into the level. And we'll change that. So we didn't need to copy that mod name, we need to copy this name. So we'll call this the Trials pan. Copy that. And then we'll rename everything else that. We'll come back and do that in a minute. My computer seems to do that sometimes. So anything named Drift Pan here, change to Trials pan. I'm not even sure if we need that depth image there, but we'll keep it just because everything works right now. And right, so we need to now change all the files that contain the word, all the text that contains Drift Pan in the files needs to be changed to Trials pan. So we can do that with Notepad++, which I hinted at in the last episode. You can get that, I'll put a link in the description for it. And it's like Notepad, but with loads of extra tools. It's not hard to use, it just makes everything, oh, I want to do that, oh, there's bound to be something in there for you to make it happen. But I mostly use it because it has a search function that allows you to search in multiple files in one sweep sort of thing. So we want to find Drift Pan, replace it with Trials pan. Is it Trials? Yep. And we want it to look in this particular mod folder. And where are we? Mods. Unpacked Trials TT. Okay, now find replace in files. And that'll blur away. For every single one of those art files and changing any text required. I think it's the materials files that there's quite a lot of because of all the assets, and they all have the name of the level in it somewhere. Again, that's a bit beyond me, but I know enough to change it to do basically what I want it to do, in this case at least. Just wait for that to finish. Okay, 4,499 changes. But you didn't change that one. Why didn't you change that one? How strange. Not sure why that did that. Just puts a hole right in my explanation. But anyway, that should now be okay to use. Let's just edit that quickly and put in Trials just so we know. Good if we could spell it. I'll do a fresh one when we've done work to the actual level. And save. No. Oh, got to export. Oh, overwrite. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. So, let's load the game, see if it's working. Sometime today. Wow, it's taken a while. Okay, is it gonna find it? There it is. Picture works. Let's load. Shouldn't take that long. Yep, that's because it's not worked. What didn't you change? Oh, this is typical. Every time I need to do something on the spot, it goes down the pan. So let's have a look where the terrain is, because it looks like there's a terrain loading error. Where are we? Floor. Third row down. Trials pan. Floor. Yeah. That's correct. So why are you having issues? Has it something to do with that? Because we copied it over. Sorry about this, folks. Okay, let's load again and see what the console says. Oh yeah, we didn't rename the level file, that's why. The actual folder. My computer was having a bit of a fit about it. There we go. Trials pan. That'll be it. That's the thing when you're manipulating this kind of modding, there's always something you can just mess up, and it's so hard to spot sometimes. That was an easy spot, but sometimes when you've like missed a bit of syntax, bit of, like a colon or something, that's a pain. Oops. Single click there. And it's gone. Nope, it's now in order. So now it should work fine. Yep, there we go. It's moaning because it's re-downloaded the mod. Need to unsubscribe to it. Oh, it's because it's running. Doesn't matter. Oh yes, track IR is on. I was doing some rally earlier. There we go. So yes, we have a fresh version of the level, completely duplicated. And now we can modify this without worrying about messing up the mod we've duplicated it from. So, pause the game and go into the editor. Oh, and full screen. Or maximize, I should say. So, right, I'm going to do what I initially was going to do to start with. And I think it's going to be a really close route following around itself. Not like covering everywhere, but it's going to be slow and treacherous, and I really want to put some detail into it. So, I guess to start with, I'm going to mark out where I want the route to go. So, I'm using the terrain painter here and selected Rocky Dirt, which is all preset with this mod. So control and roll the mouse wheel will allow you to change the brush size, and you can change it here as well. And here's the pressure, how hard you want it to come down. I want it basically full pressure at the moment because I'm going to draw a route. So this isn't going to look final like this. This is just basically using it as a marker. So this is totally freestyle, but I'm pretty sure I know what I want. Something like that to start with. Okay. But it's going to be a lot more than just a route that does this. I've got some ideas. But yeah, we're going to take it slow and chill. Whoops, too much pressure. Control Shift and roll mouse wheel when you're in the terrain editor will allow you to adjust the pressure, as you can see there. So let's just take it easy. What we're doing, yes. We'll build all of this up, and this is going to be a tunnel going underneath. I guess I could use the set height, which is here. Press Alt, and is it left click? And yes, it's remembered that point of where the mouse was. We actually want to be higher than this, so let's set the height manually here to 522. Oh, number lock, that'll help. No, still doesn't want to know. What's wrong with you? Doesn't want to let me type anything in there. That's annoying. Oh well. Just have to do it by hand. Get up to about where I want it and then height mark it again. So yeah, that's probably good. Let's bring the car over. Oh. Yeah, we've got to reset the level. Oh no, just come out of the editor. So I'll just bring the vehicle over for scale. Stick it in park, turn it off. Okay, might get in the way there, but yeah, that's about what I'm thinking. Okay, so let's, if we smooth here, and then I can step with the height adjuster from this point, that point, and we've got a kind of gradient. Okay, that's a good start. Carry this on out here. Okay, right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Smoothing here. So yeah, it's going to basically come down into a horrible bog and then into what kind of looks like a flood tunnel. So let's remove some of this, see what we've got to work with. Okay. To model some of this before we can continue. Okay, that should be alright. Okay, so now we need to get a decal road, or a mesh road I mean. So we'll just plonk it there. Oh. So we need to make it narrower. But we can't type any... Oh, we can use the top buttons now. The number pad wasn't working, for the height at least. Change that width to 5 as well. Depth to 0.1. Same with you. Okay, so let's get the initial points in position. So we're going to want it to be about orientation I'm not thinking about now, I'm just thinking of the middle point of this gap. Yeah, I suppose that's pretty good. Maybe come up a bit and do the same here. So about there. Down a touch. Oh no, that will do. So now we can add in a couple of nodes. And give some character to this little tunnel bridge thing. Bring that round there. Let's make it dip down quite hard. Okay, so let's put another node in there. Okay, looks about right. Say we should make this a little bit more aggressive on its pitch. Make it come out of a steep climb. Fairly steep, and then out into the mud climb up here, yeah. Okay. So now just give it a material. I'll just use asphalt. Don't have to worry about the... Well, I could do sides actually, because we might be able to see the end here. But we don't need to do the bottom. In fact, we may as well actually, because we're going to clone it to use for the ceiling, and that way it will already have a texture. Right, so now I need to do the walls. Am I happy with this? Because once you do the walls, that's about it. You can't really do anything with it. You could adjust it, but it wouldn't be easy. Yeah, that looks alright, I think. Let's just go for it. So, create a new wall. And, oh yeah, you can adjust the default settings, so we want it to be 0.1 wide and yeah 10 high. I suppose we just move it up. Why has it got it's all good. So we just click every few points so we make sure to get the curves. Make sure to click on the other road itself rather than miss and click somewhere off the edge into oblivion. Let's line this one up like there. Keep forgetting to double click. So you could do a copy over, but it's probably quicker just to do this rather than modifying the curves, which would be a bit of a pain, I would imagine. So let's come down here, go to there. Doesn't have to be exactly on the edge because you won't see the bits that you miss. Let's just move that out the way a bit. Okay. Right, so I think we can raise these both up in the object editor. Like that. And, oh yeah, we forgot to give them textures. Can we give them both at the same time? No. The last one selected. I only need sides for these actually. Okay. So now we get the bottom one and we clone that up to the top. Question is, will the 8x8 fit in here? Probably not. Yeah, definitely wanted it to be a bit higher. Something like this. I wonder if we can scale it. That's the wrong button. Let's try it. No, you can't. We'll have to go in and change all the nodes. Typical. Wrong button. Why has it only got a depth of 2? Okay, let's do it the way around it wants. So we'll move it to the top first. And then extend the nodes. So it only needs to be about 4, I think. Tedious work, but hey ho. Nope, keeps doing that. It always defaults to create a new road when you select the tool, so remember that, it's a pain. Funky. Quick fix. Sort of. Okay, and do the other one quick. Oh, that's way too much. Okay, now we have a tunnel. Now we just got to tidy up around it. So let's see if we can put much terrain back in without disturbing it. Yeah, let's go too much and then take out the bare minimum, which is a fair bit. Okay, so we're going to need some rocks to cover up those gaps. Same for the other side. Oh. A few error bits there. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, can't have that bit. Oops, too big. Okay, that looks good. Can always move it as well still. There we go. And you can go down a bit. Okay, and bring those bits up a touch. Okay. Getting there. Oh, so much more fun using the ground model. Come on. Let's try and work this about. There we go. Okay, we can fix that, all the gaps with rocks and foliage and stuff. Cool. So, let's have a look at these bits as well, actually. Let's get some rocks in there. We know the West Coast USA rocks work, texture wise I mean. Let's stick a few down in here. Get a different size one as well in there. Oh, that's a nice big one. Stuff that one in there. And we'll have a copy of you, please. Get another one in. Okay, it's looking a bit better. Let's bring another one in. Oh, nice tall one, that's going to help. Is that good enough? I suppose it is. I can move it in a little bit. Yeah, that kind of works. I'm not worried if you can see a little bit through. I'm not going to spend all day doing this. Oops. Budge this one over a touch. Yeah. Just need a few down here. Okay, yeah, that'll do it. Oh, maybe not. Need a couple of little ones, I think. I think these are the little ones. Or littler. Bring it over a touch. There we go. It's good enough. Do similar on the other side. Let's just grab them all actually. Okay. It's basically the same size, so we should be able to at least get us a head start with our rocks. Kind of focused on the wrong side. Should we try and reverse it? Don't know. Yeah, I think start this way. Yeah. Oh, didn't see that bit. What's that? Oh, it's another rock. Handy. Okay, so let's shift some of this about. Too much. So I was just trying to get this sort of bit done since it's a bit grindy. Okay, yeah, that's looking better. And there's already some here, which is handy. Move that one out a little bit. Probably bring that back in and down, down. Yeah, that's all right. Okay. So let's do some more detailing. Or could do some little rocks here actually. That's not a little rock. Rocky rock, rock, rock. That's a bit better. Have another one of those down here, please. I'm getting OCD on it now. Oh wow. Okay, yeah, that's much better. Just got a little gap here, a big gap there. Here a gap, there a gap, everywhere, big gap. Jam that in there. Oh, let's turn it around a bit more. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so let's do a bit more morphing around here. So I want it to be like it's meant to be able to take water, but it shouldn't always have water in, but it does have a bit of water because it's run down. So basically just gross. I'd like to put some pipes in sticking out of the floor or something. That would be pretty cool. Don't want to expose the edge of the level in case it causes tire popping, but also want to try and meet there if we can. I'll do. Okay. So let's put some mud in, I think. If you haven't got mud already, click new, double click new layer and then select mud. How did that grass get there? Okay, so basically starting here. And then we maybe do an obstacle and then start bogging deep in here. That's a bit too deep, I think. Down a touch. So it gets extra deep before you climb into the tunnel. So let's put in a river from there to there. Oh. Okay, so now let's just move that down, move that down. So we've got water here. So now we can work with the terrain a little bit to bring some more of that water out, but that's going to be too deep. So it basically just gets worse as you go in. Oh, yeah, it does look pretty treacherous. So let's do a little bit of work on this side now. Big dip there seems like a good idea. Just so it's awkward. I want every bit of this to be awkward if it can be. So go there to there. Oh yeah, did the same again. These work just like the mesh roads. Change the width here. You can see it's poking through there. Change that width as well. Poking through. There we go. So that's cool. Bit of water in there as well. And we've got to climb up there. Cool. Don't know if that's going to be possible in anything, but I know. Let's give it a go. Oh. Plug my controller in. So let's just go for it in the 8x8. Oh. Okay, let's make a stripped down crawler copy of this config. All we need to do is remove all the components from the cab. Or the cab entirely if you don't care about how it looks, but I'd like to keep the cab. So we'll get rid of the grille. The vents. Glass. Seats. Mirrors. So this takes a little while. So I have to reload the car every time. But it does save on frames. You get far better performance if you do this, but I'm going to save the profile, save the config of the vehicle so I can just load it next time without doing all this. well, when I got rid of the dashboard, it went from 29 frames to 42 frames. I'm going to get rid of the doors as well. Don't get rid of the engine cover because that's what's supporting the exhausts, so they just start flopping about. Get rid of the bumpers as well. Just use the frame as a bumper. This way there's no lights, so even less resources needed. Okay, so, oh yeah, save it. Stripped course, save. Okay. So yeah, it looks a bit bare, but it's running 20 frames per second faster now than it was before I did that. So let's get everything set up for crawling, locking all the diffs. Get rid of both these things. Okay, let's see how we get on. First test. And it won't fit. Haha. Don't you believe it? Alright. Let's do it in the D series off-road. We'll have to make some adjustments there because I want this to go through. Still don't know why this doesn't have lock diffs by default. So we're going to put locking diffs this time so we can actually turn them on and off. Not that I can imagine I would want to turn them off. Okay. I suppose it's not a crawling config, it's an off-road config, so driving at speed more than driving slowly. So let's actually lock the diffs after all that. I wonder if we'll be able to get over this hump. Oh yeah. Bar a side plate. And can't see. Oh, that wasn't as steep as I thought it was. Oh, it doesn't like that. Well, there we go. Just go for a quick skid, rip a few burnies. It is a skid pan after all. Come on, get the lead out. Okay, well, it's clear we need to do some more work here. It's always different when you come to actually drive it. So let's make this a lot less annoying. Okay, yeah, that can be okay. Bit of smoothing though. Okay, now it's just stupidly easy. But yeah, it's just a start. Definitely going to have to make it taller though. Which means going through that process again, but it won't take long. So we select all of these. And the roof. And where do you reckon? About there? I think would be okay. Yeah, it's bound to be. I'm not going to check, because that's the way I roll. So let's deselect those, get that mesh road, bring them up. Oh, they're long enough already. Oh, hallelujah. That was a quick fix. Need to get these. Okay, actually covers it better. Now we can move this bit out of the way. Okay, awesome. Let's clip that bit out of the way. Okay, let's bring some of these unnecessary rocks down now to fill up this gap. Oh, that's the wrong way. There we go, that's a bit better. Sort of. So you get to the right angle and see it's really not. Okay, that's quite good. That's not. That's better. Okay, so now we can get the truck in there. Pretty sure. What's going on there then? Did it again. Oh yeah, it's in the wrong place. There you go. Okay, so let's save that and just try quickly with the truck. Really wish you could load configs from here rather than have to load them through the parts menu. You can make your config choosable in there, but you have to give it an extra file. Could do that, but yeah, it looks like we're going to fit this time. Just try and go through naturally with the natural transmission settings. No. Gotta lock your diffs. As soon as one wheel comes off the floor, that's it. All the power goes there and you've got no traction. There we go, that's looking good. Couldn't see where I was going then. But yeah, that's... I didn't actually load the stripped. Frame rate's awful. Ah, that's better. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. Alright, yeah, I like that. That is doing it for me. Okay. We can always come back and improve stuff, but I want to try and move on a little bit more now. So, let's get some trees in here, I think. Okay. That'll do. Nice bush. More grass, do a similar thing on this side. Let's get rid of some of those, I think. Okay, you're looking a bit more picturesque now. Let's do some on this side as well. Anyway, we're not going to have track, we just as well put some grass or something in. Do some foresting there. Wow, that's a lot of foresting. Yeah, a few too many trees close together there. Shouldn't really put in trees until you've finalised your terrain model anyway, because if you have to move the terrain now, the trees won't move, they'll stay where they are, and you just have to delete them and place them again, so it's kind of pointless. But I'm just trying to make it look a bit more interesting. Quite overgrown, that's good. Probably get rid of that one. Okay, so let's build up round here, get the road kind of where we want it to be. Is that the right button? No, that's the flatten button. Smooth. Yeah, smooth's usually best on 1 pressure, lowest amount, so you don't go mad. So yeah, there's a floating bush there because we're moving the terrain. Oops, that's the opposite of what I want to do. Okay. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And this was very easy to get out of, so let's make this a little bit more challenging. Yeah, that looks a bit more intimidating. And I think in here we can have a load of speed bumps or something, like oversized ones. Is it in here, I think, near the end? Speed bump. So let's make it bigger. Actually, just use the flat plane axes. I expect we could probably change that in the future if it gets boring. Maybe do one more. Just sort of using it as filler, to be honest. So, what do we want to do here? Maybe have a look at some more objects. And yes, I found where that missing piece we were looking for yesterday, that ramp. It's called Rock 01. Yeah, looks like a rock to me. Okay, anyway. Let's find something. I've got a pipe. Oh, that's the gigantic pipe. Could use that. Try and shrink it right down. See what we can do with it. Let's actually go over there. What we could do with this. I hope it's stable to use once it's shrunk right down. I know things aren't so good when you've enlarged them from their normal size. I can't see why it would be a problem if you shrunk it though, because you're not stretching anything. So what can we do? I was thinking sort of like having 2 of them and having a wheel in each, but that'd be really awkward. That's what we're going for, but I'm sure we'll pop tyres running along that. I was thinking something like this. Oh, that's the wrong button. Sort of like that, and you have a wheel in each side. But we're probably asking for trouble there. Could try that later, so let's save that, put it somewhere else. Let's whack it over here. So we're going to want to straighten some of these edges out, smooth them, because they look horrible. Obviously we'll change the textures as we go. So let's think. I want to come around here over these bumps, and then what do we want? I'm thinking random container climb that comes down onto there. So let's get a container. Let's find one of the ramps from this folder. I think they do alright. What's this bump? It's going to be a little triangle, isn't it? That might be alright. Just finding any old random stuff to make it work, to be honest. Okay, another one for the upcoming pitch. It's a bit steep with just the one there. Oh, getting a bit wonky. I wonder if that would work. Looks pretty challenging. That big step in the middle there. I think we should give it a go. Bit tight for this, as usual, like the one I made the other day. Got a bit stuck here. It's all a bit narrow for this, so we could either stretch it wider a bit, all three of them, or we could duplicate them over. I don't really think we need to go that much wider, so let's duplicate them, let's stretch them. It's probably a bad idea to do it like that. Yeah, cool. Wrong button. Definitely makes it hard to get lined up. There we go, that's better. Cool. So yeah, there it is. The start of another project. I'd probably rather keep working on this one because it's a lot more fun to work with the ground model. But again, I still recommend you try out the Time Trials tutorial that I showed you on how to use the Drift TT or Time Trial Toolkit mod to start your own time trial on this map, but use the pre-laid out stuff that I have made in the base config for that mod. The video will tell you exactly what you need to do, and you can make your own little tracks, your own little time trials, and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, as I said, for this one I really wanted to modify the ground model, so I had to duplicate the level. So you can follow the steps I used at the beginning of this stream to do the same yourself. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to call it because not really normally free at the moment. I'm actually waiting on something, so I thought I've got a couple of hours, I'll stream. It turns out I haven't even got that, so this will probably be it, I'm afraid. But still, we got a bit done. Definitely like to come back to this and keep going. Just pour my imagination out in front of you guys. This speed bump's quite good actually. Yeah. That's better. I don't think I'm going to leave it like that. I think I'll put something else there rather than just have a huge gap you got to jump off. I don't think the pickup would do too well. Flump. Okay, yeah. So thanks for joining me, guys and girls. I'm hoping to stream for longer normally, but yeah, I've got the call, so I've got to go. But yeah, thanks for joining me. I've had fun doing this, and I can't wait to do a little bit more. So yeah, see you in the next one, guys and girls. Adios. Awkward.